Hello and welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Today we look at a group of 4 who helped hide 2 men and speed from Oxford after they carried out a savage murder have been jailed. The quartet included the former partners of Christopher Lemonius's killers, Otman Lamzini and Carlos Spencer, and a woman who went to the Blackbird Leys house dubbed Conspiracy Central by prosecutors. They helped Mr. Lamzini and Mr. Spencer flee from Oxford in the wake of the murder. The 3 men were at large for 4 months. Jailing Kamesha Bennett, McMahon, Corinne Forbears and Barry O'Loughlin at Oxford Crown Court, Judge Ian Pringle QC said, "Let the message go out loud and clear. Those who assist those suspected of committing serious offences, and it can go no more serious than murder, are likely to lose their liberty." Mr. Lemonius, 27, was chased by a gang to a house on Jourdain Street. He was hacked to death by a group who were armed with machetes, golf clubs and pieces of wood. During the killer's trial, it was suggested that one motive for the attack could have been revenge. One of those responsible for Mr. Lemonius's death was assaulted in the weeks leading up to the murder. In the wake of the murder, a cover-up operation was launched to try and hide the true extent of the night's events. 4 men were later given life sentences after they were convicted of Mr. Lemonius's death, while a 5th was jailed for 10 years for manslaughter. 3 women and 1 man were the latest to appear before the Crown Court in connection with the case. Corinne Forbears, 30, was at a house in Astrop Lane, dubbed Conspiracy Central by prosecutors, in the wake of the killing, along with a large number of others. Within 5 minutes of police arriving at the murder scene, her phone had called a mobile belonging to 33-year-old Sasha McMahon, the girlfriend of Otman Lamzini. Miss McMahon allowed Otman Lamzini to stay at the night at her house. The next day, she used Mr. Forbear's telephone to make a hotel reservation, then drove Mr. Lamzini there. He was picked up by Barry O'Loughlin, 44, and driven to London, where he was visited by his girlfriend on at least 2 occasions in the months following the killing. Carlos Spencer's then partner, Kamesha Bennett, 27, picked him up after the murder. He stayed at her home for 3 to 4 days. Phone records showed she had accessed the Oxford Mail website regularly in the wake of Mr. Lemonius's death. She was aware he had travelled from Oxford to Birmingham and had given him new phones. Sentencing the group, Judge Pringle said he had given anxious consideration to the fact all 4 were dedicated parents. There had been delay in the case being sentenced, and they had remained out of trouble. However, he concluded that appropriate punishment could only be achieved by immediate imprisonment. Christopher Lemonius, a man of just 27 years old, was pursued and they savagely attacked by a gang of young men in the back of gardens and an alleyway in Blackbird Leys in Oxford, the judge said. There is no doubt that they intended to carry out a very violent murder. Witness heard them say as much. A machete, knives and large stick were used to carry out the murder. In due course, a jury at this Crown Court unanimously convicted 4 men of his murder and 1 of his manslaughter. All of the suspects in the ensuing police investigation following the murder were identified. 2 of them, Carlos Spencer and Otman Lamzini, were not arrested for 4 months. It was in part because of the behaviour of U4, who provided crucial assistance to both of them in avoiding being arrested by the police or ensuring that any incriminating evidence was disposed of. Miss McMahon, Headington, pleaded guilty on a basis to perverting the course of justice. Sophia Dower, mitigating, said her client was utterly ashamed over the decision that she took. She added she knows that she's let herself down and her family down, whom she is very close to. Miss Forbears of Stratworth Path, Oxford, Miss Bennett of Three Fields, Oxford, and Mr. O'Loughlin of Sandy Lane were found guilty of perverting the course of justice. All were said to be remorseful and all had children who would be affected by their incarceration. Their lawyers asked the judge to consider imposing suspended sentences. Judge Pringle sentenced Miss Bennett to 9 months in prison. Mr. O'Loughlin and Miss Forbears received 6 months, and Miss McMahon was jailed for 4 months. So what are your thoughts about this quartet of former partners who helped Mr. Lamzini and Mr. Spencer avoid police detection until they were later caught and arrested? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.